Hey everybody, Zach Clayton from Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. How you doing today? We're here talking to one of our newest mission partners, and we're extremely excited about this because we really believe in inclusion. We are now parents of a young man who has disabilities, so this is something that touches our heart. We're trying to get him into school right now, and so we're finding some of the stuff that Rich, you and Parent Advocacy Consortium, you guys are fighting for. Why don't you go on ahead and tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing and how did all this get started?
Well, good day, Zach. Thanks for having us on. So Rich Ceruolo here from Parent Advocacy Consortium. We're just a small band of troublemakers. That's how we got started. We were parents who were tired of being kicked around by the school system and the system in general. We didn't like the way that IEP meetings would go, how our kids' civil rights would routinely be violated, and there was really no accountability. So we banded together, try to find a more motivated group of parents than ex-military, retired military, and active military families. You're not going to find anybody who's more motivated, right? So we get tired of having our kids treated unfairly. We banded together. We formed a coalition of folks who advocate locally at our school districts, train parents how to be better advocates in their child's meetings and with the school systems. We also work with our local legislature to change the way that the laws were written and to favor families and kids with disabilities.
There's personal opinion. I'm going to break this in here because, well, my show and who's going to stop me, I guess. But I don't understand why any of our military has to come back and fight for anything when it comes to school systems. They've given up of their lives for us to continue to do what we do. Yet it seems to me like military is always getting kicked in the teeth. Our veterans constantly get kicked in their teeth. Our first responders, they're getting their hands tied. Things just keep going, things just keep getting pushed in the wrong direction for people who do good for us, while it seems opposite for people who are trying to overutilize the system. Are you yourself a veteran, Rich?
I am not. I am a military brat. My fellow co-founders, both one was a Marine and the other was an Air Force linguist, an interpreter. They are veterans during the Afghanistan and Iraq war years. So they wrote me into this, and I'm the last one standing because everyone's moved on to other things. Um, they have told me stories, and I've talked to other military families and folks who've just come back from deployment about how difficult it is just moving from state to state, let alone if you're overseas and your child has an IEP and you come back to the states and you have just the changes in the way services are delivered and IEP document are written. Um, One of the things we like to do is get our folks assessments when they come back, because that's really important when you walk into a school building. They're supposed to, by law, provide your child with an assessment by a school approved provider. But unfortunately, a lot of them are not um, conducive to the family or the child getting the services the child really needs in the school building. So that's why we like to have that outside impartial expert come in and give their opinion and write a document that states this is what this child needs. And that's really helpful to them.
Um, I myself am just a patriot. I am not a veteran. And so I am right there with you. I talk to more veterans than um, who really have no reason to talk to me, but they understand that I really care about how things are going, and it's amazing when you're talking to these individuals who have peacetime, wartime, it doesn't matter. The stories that they've got, some of the hell that they have to go through just to do what they do, Rich, is, and you know this, I'm not telling you anything that you haven't heard. It's amazing some of the stuff that they have to go through. So I think that what you guys do is fantastic. What are some of the issues that you are, I want to say, fighting against when it comes to getting these children included in everything? What are some of the things what are some of your biggest battles?
Boy, how much time do you have?
Well, you know what? We got as much time. I guess we've got about 35 minutes, but we got as much
Yeah,
time. I'll restart this recording to get
that's
this
it's a
story
great
out.
it's a great question because there's so much that you can
Right.
touch upon. Um, just getting these kids access to the assistive technologies that they need inside of a school building, you get pushback because you need a tablet for your child, and I can't run out and spend $900 on a device for my child. And I've gone through TRICARE, and they'll only pay a percentage of that. And how do I come up with the rest of the money while I'm paying for healthcare for my family and putting food on the table, a roof over their heads? So these are the questions that come up every day for military families and for non-military families as well. Not everyone's uh, as financially secure and able to pay for the variety of costs that come up when you have a child with disabilities. My gosh, medical treatments alone. Not everything's covered by healthcare. So, you've got a reading specialist, you've got an occupational therapist, you've got someone working with their physical therapy, a variety of things that come up. There are lots of costs associated with that. And getting those kids what they need inside of a school building is a challenge. And paying for it outside of the school building is also a big challenge for families. So, the equity piece is always a big concern because there's the access to things like the school building and the playground. And, what if they go on a field trip and my child has to stay back at school because the place they're going is not wheelchair accessible or may not be conducive to them getting around safely? That kind of stuff comes up all the time.
Have you noticed that some of the organizations that are there to provide support for what you're fighting for, they're just flat out overrun because there are too few organizations that are there to try to support kids with disabilities?
Yes, yes, and yes. Uh, there's a lot of need out there. There's a lot of my gosh, if you just look at the statistics of how many kids have disabilities in the country, it's overwhelming. And uh, the federal legislation, which is IDEA, was never fully funded by Congress. So the states are having to fill the need and the gaps that exist within those services being provided to the students and just citizens, at large, right? So, uh, things like accessibility to public spaces and services that the folks might need. I mean, let's talk about mental health care in this country right now and the needs that are not being met um, locally through state agencies or just even at the county level. We're having police officers and firefighters do the jobs of psychologists, and that has to change. That whole dynamic has to change.
Yeah. Um, you are in uh, where are you located right now, and how far does your reach go?
So we're based out of Annapolis, Maryland, and we started locally here in Anne Arundel County around Annapolis. And our reach, because our families are so transient within areas, because they get redeployed all over the world, we're now all over the place. There's not a continent that one of our members hasn't been deployed to at some point, and we have like-minded partnerships with other organizations and coalitions around other issues that we touch upon who are also in other countries that we work with closely, because these issues are not just here locally or within our country. They're global, definitely global.
So in other words, we've got an Air Force base just about 2 hours and 15 minutes from us in beautiful Colorado Springs. You guys can say, hey, you guys can hold the flag for parents with with children who need your assistance there.
Absolutely. We're happy to help anyone across the country, again, military or non-military, and across the world if we can help out in any way. Guaranteed, we're going to have somebody who's local to that area who can render assistance and give some guidance, and maybe even know a couple of people that work within the school district that can help.
All right, perfect. Well, I want to show everybody a little bit how you can support everything that you're hearing about, and then we're going to jump back to you, Rich, because I have a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
What we've got going on here, they are part of our mission partners, so one of our newest mission partners, and you come here to our mission partners tab on the website. You go down here, you can find them on the Community Cares Cub Club, or you can find them right here on Honoring Our Heroes, both country and community. You click on Learn More, and all of a sudden, any of the hero programs that we work with are right here on this page. And you will find right here, Parent Advocacy Consortium. You take and you scan your QR code right here, okay? Just scan it on your phone. If you're on your desktop or your laptop, you can go on ahead and click that. That's all you have to do. You can choose if you want to make constant support for this program. You can choose to add this to your home screen, and that way, anytime that you shop with one of our partners, it's very simple. You just take and you add it, you click on that and you send in your receipt, and that's all there is to it. So you can choose to add this to your home screen and continue to support Parent Advocacy Consortium. Remember, this is something that's very important, so I definitely suggest you consider that. When you open up the app, it looks like this. You can go here, and this is where you're going to be able to find every single partner that when you shop with them, they will give a portion of the sales back to us, where a huge percentage goes back to Rich, and they're able to continue to do their mission. And when I say huge percent, I'm talking we give back 80%. So, we're really trying to make a difference here. So you go here to this link and you can find any of our partners. What it does is it takes you to our verified partners page. So you can just go there if you want to look through the website. Once you shop with these partners, you simply take a photo of the receipt if they give you a paper receipt or invoice. If they send it to you electronically, we have a place where you can browse, where you can down or upload it to this file. So just click the file, click the receipt or invoice, and then just give us your name. If you would like to dedicate this receipt, dedicate this donation to somebody, you can put in a dedication, and we will make sure that Rich and his group knows that this is dedicated to a certain person. Then we ask for your email, your phone number, your address, and this is a very quick button. This is the only thing that we just ask of you. Can we add you to our email list or text message list or our mailing list? All above or no thank you. We accept whatever you choose. So again, you find a partner, you utilize that partner, you take a picture of the receipt or you upload the receipt, give us this very brief amount of information, and then you click submit. That's all you have to do. That's it. Once you do that, Rich and his group gets 80% of whatever those organizations, those businesses send us as a referral award. So you shop with them, you get to support this wonderful, wonderful mission simply by shopping with our partners, our community pay it forward verified family member partners. So we do encourage you to download any and all receipts or any and all apps that we have. We've got a different app if you want to have our partners at your fingertips at all time, or We've got one of these codes for all of our mission partners. So if you've got a specific one that you're looking for, if you want to give us a call, I'll send you a text to it. But right now, we are talking to Rich Ceruolo of the Parent Advocacy Consortium. One of the other questions I had for you is what we all know that you guys, we all know that money is the thing that is needed the most. What else can parents do to support what you're doing?
Well, definitely funding projects like this, where we're giving assistive technology and assessments to the kids that need it the most, and to folks in our community that need it the most, those with disabilities. Um, the other things that people can do is their time. And if you see a cause that's near and dear to your heart, I would ask folks to get involved with their local government, either at the local county level or the state level, and let folks know what you're passionate about. If your passion is helping other people, specifically those who have been marginalized for decades, like kids with disabilities, please, on their behalf, be the voice that they themselves cannot be.
What kind of what sorts of volunteering would you guys need? Like if somebody is in Colorado Springs and they would like to help you guys in a ground root, in a ground root way, right there in Colorado Springs, how can they help you?
That's a great question. It's something that I'm working on right now with a couple of individuals, is establishing a peer mentoring and tutoring program where we can have military families and non-military families tutoring each other's kids. A lot of high schools have community service hours that they need to fulfill each year. And it's a great way to connect with the community, those around you, and to help another kid who may be struggling with math or reading. That's a really nice way. Another way you can help out is if you have a local food pantry. You'd be surprised at the amount of families who are we're service members who have a hard time every month, meeting their bills, and they utilize the food pantry in their local community quite a bit. If you can give your time or some items to that pantry, it makes a big difference.
Um, and you guys have a deal with you guys have a deal with most of those food pantries already. So you guys, all you have to do is get to them and you guys can get support from the kids or for the kids.
Yeah, something that's something that we've been fostering around this particular part of the state, and we're working on hopefully expanding that. Is the folks that are, because we've got the naval base right down here, the Naval Academy. Any families that are on the base and maybe living off base that need those supports, we give them the resources and the links to the local food pantries and the hours. A lot of them are only open 1 or 2 days a week, and then they only have a couple of hours of service available because of the lack of volunteers. So we try to help facilitate that. Or the other thing we've done is we work with sororities in the area to get gift cards for those families so that they have money in their pocket when they go to buy groceries.
So we're looking at your Facebook page right now. What do you guys try to, how do you work towards keeping your Facebook page updated? What kind of things are you looking for to help you maintain your Facebook page? What kind of things would you like people to send you if they see something that maybe they feel like it's not up to code?
Great question. So that has been me for a while. There's a couple of other admins who check on it, but it's me with the content. But most of the folks that are out there now in our community take care of updating it every day. They do a really nice job sharing things that are important to them around education, around special education, and just kind of community happenings. If you see something that doesn't look right to you in your community and you think it's maybe a violation of someone's civil rights, you know, by all means, please let us know, and we'll bring some focus to that and see if we can't direct some resources toward fixing the problem.
I love seeing things like this, advocating for kids Inc. You obviously are working with other groups, and you really want
We
to
are.
make sure that you keep that we keep the conversations going. One of the worst things that can happen to people is we start a conversation and then we wane away from it. The shiny squirrel syndrome, if you will. We start something really well, really great, really impactful, and then all of a sudden we're just like going, nah, okay, and you move on from it. So if you have more than one group, and obviously you guys are working quite a bit with the this group. So what other kind of groups are you guys working with? Who are the groups that you wish you could get into contact with so people can try to make a connection?
Sure. We always work on building our network. So the particular group there that you spotlighted, which is Cheryl Poe down in Virginia, she's a really strong advocate for kids down in Virginia Beach area. She's got a lot of military families as well. Um, any group that is disability rights focused is focused on things like dyslexia, specific learning disability like dyslexia. Folks that work toward just protecting the civil rights of or anyone with an injury is definitely a focus to us and interest, and we'd like to partner with them and to build on our network so that we can provide resources in those communities that they may be based in.
Okay, and Rich, how do people get a hold of you if they would like some more information?
Well, they can certainly reach out through our Facebook presence. I'm also on LinkedIn and I have a Twitter account, which I probably should use more. And of course, they can always email me.
And then we will we will put a little flash on the bottom of the screen with your email. But can you go on ahead and spell that out for us real quick? Give us your email for people.
Sure, it's Rich, Richceruolo, Cerulo, all one word, at gmail.com.
You know what's kind of funny? You mentioned Twitter and how you should probably be a little bit better on Twitter. Twitter's the one that I'm good at. Okay, and it's funny because I always forget. My two sons who are in their 20s. One of them's darn near in his 30s now. So I don't know when the hell I got old enough to have a 30-year-old son. I don't know how that happened, but it did. But yeah, I'll forget that I'm under Community Pay It Forward or the PAC channel, and he'll put something out there, and I'm like going, "Wow, I just responded that as the company," and I forget to switch, switch profiles every once in a while. So
Sure.
I get in trouble with that, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of Twitter because it's just quick hits. You can get in, get out, and move on. So, um, are there other, have you found from other countries that they're having the issues with this? We know that there are certain countries that let, who are we to say somebody's doing something right or wrong, but I will. There are certain countries that are just they're terminating pregnancies when children have certain disabilities. And it's not, disability does not mean dead. Disability means that they have special, something special to work through. If anything, I think disabilities make people stronger in a lot of ways because they have to they have to learn how to deal with things even in a different way. And they generally have to learn about those by themselves because there's not a lot of people who can teach them what they're going through. They have to deal with it on their own. But have you found that there's other countries that are going through these issues?
You know, what I will say is there are other countries that handle folks with disabilities better than we do, and there are some who, like you said, do not. Um, what I will add to that also is that because we have a disability doesn't mean we're unable to be productive members of society Albert Einstein is a famous dyslexic. His brain was wired differently than everyone else. And because of that, we have the theory of relativity and some of the greatest physics that's ever been done by somebody who was working part time as a patent clerk. He was a terrible student because he was dyslexic. Great example, right? Where would the world be if Albert Einstein had never been born because he had dyslexia or was, cast off and sent to live off in a, you know, on his own in the, in the wilderness because he was different.
Yeah,
Um,
it's actually really amazing when you look at that because Nikola Tesla, he had,
Tesla's a great example.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very, very brilliant. As a matter of fact, once again, my opinion, even better inventor than anybody else at his time. And yes, that includes that other guy.
Hey, Edison took over credit for a lot of Tesla's work.
Yeah, the thing is that Edison took credit for a lot of other people's work. So,
Yes,
but because he funded it, it was
he
his.
had the money. Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but disability, I think that and I'm very happy to say, I think we're coming to the point where we're starting to realize that, you know what, disability is not a death sentence. Disability is is a challenge, is all it is. But I mean, we really need people to understand that if somebody looks a little bit different or somebody uses an implement a little bit differently than we do, it just means that they're doing things a little bit different. I mean, it's no different than the way that I walk is different from the way that you walk. I mean, the truth is that we're all different, and that's what we need to look at disability people with these disabilities as, is that they just do things a little bit different. It doesn't make them an alien, and I'm glad that we're getting to that point, but we're not getting there quick enough, are we?
No, if we're going to have a society that's built on true equity, whether someone has an ability or a disability should be seamless and shouldn't make a difference to anyone in any forum, right? Whether it's education or society or just in a working environment. So you go to your job and you do your job just like anyone else because you've been given the access and the playing field has been leveled to the point where you and your neuro diverse community and your neuro typical community can all coexist and not have that be a problem. It's seamless and it doesn't make really that big of a difference. It's just everyone does what they need to do and an equal platform.
Well, Rich, I'm going to tell you something. When you and I spoke, uh, was it earlier in the week? The first time we spoke was Monday, was it not? Or was
Was
it
it this?
Friday?
Maybe it was last week.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. It was Thursday or Friday of last week, and then
Yeah.
I was unable to check my email before Friday ended. I woke up on Monday morning and boom, I saw, because that excited me so much, because when I talked to you, just what you're doing is so close to what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that people understand, we say it every time. There's only one race, and that's the human race. And even though we all do things a little bit different, even though we all look a little bit different, some of us are uglier than other people. That's fine. We understand that. We're still the same, and we need to work towards that. So I am so happy that you guys have chosen to allow Community Pay Up Forward to be a small part of what you guys are doing, because we want to spread the word on what you guys are doing, because it's so important. And we do want to remind you, you can view them under the mission partners. Just go to the Cub Club, or you can go to our heroes, both country and community, because this is a veteran organization. This is working towards child inclusion and inclusion for disability. So please, if you have any questions, please make sure that you reach out to Rich. Once again, it's under the Facebook group Parent Advocacy Consortium. So you can go there. We do have it linked from the website. Rich, one more time, give us your email, please.
So you can reach me on Gmail. My email address is rich, R-I-C-H, last name Ceruolo, Ceruolo @gmail.com, all one word.
All right. Well, Rich, I want to tell you again, we are so proud to have you as part of the Community Pay It Forward family.
Thank you. And we appreciate, the opportunity to partner with you all and like-minded organizations if they want to join forces with us and fight for the civil rights of disabled veterans and kids with disabilities. Please jump on board.
Yep. So if you guys have any ideas, if you guys have any questions, I encourage you to please reach out to Rich. But this is just one more example of what we say. Nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. So thank
That's
you
right.
very much, Rich.
Thank you.
Again, we've spent this last half an hour talking to Rich Ceruolo, one of the founders and one of the leads at the Parent Advocacy Consortium. Thank God I talk for a living, right? So, but if you have any questions, please reach out to me, 970-909-0751. I can help you get a hold of him, 970-909-0751. Always go to communitypayupforward.us and you can find any of these interviews right there. And you can reach out to these great people because they're great people doing great things. We will be right back with more of our show. So thank you very much. Rich, have a great day.
Thank you, Zach.